on, guys? Welcome to Prismari EDH Spoiler Day. I'm your host, Barry. You can find me at Otaku on TikTok, and I'm joined today with...
Me, Quest. You can find me on Twitter and TikTok. My Twitter is Question Beaver, and my TikTok is Beaver Magic. And we have a new spoiler for the new EDH decks for Prismari. A couple good ones, a couple interesting and buzzed ones. One card actually looks breakable, like infinite combats, and all that stuff. But let's get right into the first one, which is Veyran, Voice of Duality, for 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 colorless. It's a 2/2 and have Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy into a sorcery spell, Veyran, Voice of Duality, get +1/+1 till the end turn. And then if you casting or copying an instant or sorcery spell cause a trigger ability of a permanent you control, trigger that ability an additional time.
Yeah, this really looks like it should have been the face card for the deck.
Yeah, it's so gross with the one shapeshifter from Keldenheim. Like, cool, I'll target it. Cool, I make 2 more copies. Like,
Ovar?
Yeah, Ovar. If you have like Pattern Monicon or something like that, just something that double tokens. Like, well, you're making like 4, I think, at that point. Like, just 4 Gold Band Dragons, so you just go infinite.
Oh yeah, when you target it with a maybe like you target it with a bounce spell just to make a copy of it, and then it makes 2, then triggers twice. Yeah, that's.
Even with like Chain of Vapor, it just goes infinite, right? Because like if you're making enough tokens, like you're just bouncing that 1 token, and then you're making another one equal to like, oh man, this card could really break that type of deck with like spell slinging, and they're like, all right, proceed. If you have a Gold Spark Dragon and like, man.
Gold Spark Dragon, yeah. Oh yeah, and then I guess if you keep Chain of Vaporing a land, something, right? I forgot how that card. I don't really get to play too much with that card, so. I think you can, but then there's also the thermal flux that a lot of people in Ovar decks use to copy lands. And all that stuff. So like you could just trigger that twice, somehow bring it back to your hand. Yeah, that's man, this is gonna be gross. The more I see it, and it's only 3 mana.
Yeah, even the Lithoform engine seemed pretty good in this type of a list too.
Oh, to copy the triggered ability.
It's wow.
Yeah, this will be a fun deck to see. I mean, it's still a 3 mana 2/2, so it's easily
killed.
Yeah, it can be killed, but I mean, still it's an Izzet, so it's gonna have a good amount of protection.
Yeah,
but I think this really should have just been the face card instead of the 3 triggered effects or the 3 triggers from the face card.
Yeah, definitely powerful. All right, moving on to the next one.
All right, let's go and talk about Octavia, Living Thesis, 8 and 2 blue. The spell costs 8 less to cast if you have 8 or more instants or sorceries in your graveyard. It has Ward 8, which means it has to target it. It costs 8 more to target. So your Path to Exile now becomes a 9 mana spell cost. And it has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, target creature has the base power and toughness 8/8 until end of turn.
That is a really powerful effect too. Just making something into an 8/8 real fast, and it costs 8 less just to like play it equal to number of instant sorceries you have in your. Oh wait, if you have 8 or more instant. Okay, so it is 8 or more. So yeah, it's really powerful.
Yeah, I mean, so if you're gonna play, there's cards that you could really take advantage of this, especially because you want to reach that 8 less to cast. Ability or whatever, like static ability. You're gonna want to play like a lot of smaller cards like Preordain, Brainstorm, Faithless Looting, just to really fill up your graveyard. So this is you're gonna get an 8/8 for 2 mana, and then if you're playing that one creature from Theros that has landfall and makes tentacles, little 1/1 tentacles, and so maybe you're gonna storm off, and then you're gonna make all these tentacles into 8/8s. It's gross. We know that there's always like an ability to make a lot of small creatures. Even in blue, even if you have to go colorless, you get like a Hedron, what's it called? A Hangerback Walker.
Oh yeah, the one that makes mana, right?
Or the one that makes Thopters.
Oh, you mean Hangerback Walker?
Hangerback Walker.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the Hedron guy that makes mana.
Oh no. Right. And so like I think there's gonna be a fairly easy way to abuse this. You pair this up with Murmuring Mystic. or what's it called? The 4-drop, the one that makes 2/2 Drakes.
2/2 Drakes. Oh, oh man, I can't even think of his name right now.
Mr. The Counterspell Tribal.
Yeah.
Guy. You know, I'll trade a 2/2 Flying Drake for an 8/8 Actually, no, it doesn't. It just makes it an 8/8 Drake.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good. And like this might kind of want to go into wizard just because it will just cost 2 mana every time.
And then turn all your wizards into 8/8s?
Yeah, man. They're all beefy. They're all buff. They went to the gym every day, you know? They're really getting ripped.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be a pretty nasty... Even as a commander, I think it's going to be nasty because you're going to build around filling up the board with as many like small creatures and playing all these cantrips and counter spells. Or even just in the 99, like Quest said, he has a wizard deck, and wizards tend to be like 1/3s, 1/4s.
Oh yeah, and they're all cheap too, like 2 mana, 3 mana. I think the highest is like 6, but there's only like a couple of them. But yeah, it's definitely a good card. Yeah,
so I think this one's gonna be a pretty fun build around. I'm really just hoping that people don't build it as Counterspell Tribal, but they're probably not because it doesn't make like any tokens. So. We'll see about that one.
Yeah. All right. Our next one is
Rinonia.
Rinonia. Fire Dancer. 2 red and 3 colorless. It's a legendary creature, human wizard. Ooh, I like human wizards. At the beginning of your combat, on your turn, create X tokens that are copies of another target creature you control, where X is plus the number of instant sorcery spells you cast this turn. They gain haste and then exile at the beginning of the next end step. Now this is the card that we're talking about. It's gonna break. It already been broken. You can like literally have Port Rager and Combat Celebrate, and then you should take Infinite Combats with. It's a definitely Scream Red card right there.
Oh right, extra combats, and Red has a lot of cheap spells as well. They have Gambles, Faithless Lootings, You Seize the Days.
Yeah.
So. This really just... I mean, it's a wizard, so are you going to put it in wizards?
Probably not, just because, like, it doesn't seem that good. I mean, sir, I make a bunch of wizards. So, basically, my commander is Kaza, which from Zendikar Rising, it is 1 red, 1 blue, and tap it. Insert sorcery spells you cast cost X equal to number of wizards you control, and it's a 1/2 with flying and haste. This is a 5 mana wizard.
Which is pretty high in the high end.
It's pretty high, but only like it. I don't know if it benefits me like creating like a lot of wizard, which I already have like maybe like 4 or 5 already that I just don't need. So probably not.
I think the only thing I really see you doing with this card is like the Alfedo Alchemist, making a whole bunch of them and then just tapping them to just look through your deck, or untapping them to tap untap Kaza. Yeah, but I feel like as a mono red commander. Yeah, this is totally viable. I like it better than Varchild, who was another like mono red human commander. And then plus mono red also has a lot of creatures that make small 1/1s. You have the dinosaur summoner girl from Ixalan, the one that makes a whole bunch of 1/1s. You have a young pyromancer. So, yeah, I think this will be a fun build. This is going to be super aggressive, and I think it's going to be a nightmare 1v1.
Man, I'm actually considering just changing that out with a Tolly, maybe. It looks really fun to try to build around it. But, yeah, we'll see some lists out there in the future.
I mean, yeah, and then you pair it up with what's called the Dragon and the Heb. And so you're making all that you're making like a whole bunch of dragons. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be a super aggressive deck, and I'm pretty excited to see that too.
Yeah.
So we got Muse Vortex, one of the new sorceries from this set, or actually from this EDH deck. It's X and 2 blue sorcery. Exile the top X cards of your library. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value X or less from among them without paying its mana cost. Then put the exile instants and sorcery cards that weren't cast this way into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
Wow, that's a That seems like a Genesis Wave type of card, you know? Like, so when I first read this, I thought it was a Genesis Wave. Like, yeah, it counts all the instant sorcery that were right there, you know? But luckily it isn't, which is kind of sad. But it's still a good card. Like, it's definitely, like, digs you deep in your deck. But luckily, those cards don't get exiled. They just go on the bottom or to your hand, which is all your instant sorceries. Definitely to fuel you up more. Yeah, definitely a value card for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I like this more, if I would play this over Finale of Revelation.
Oh, probably not, yeah, because, like, Finale of
Finale of Revelation is
Revelation,
two.
yeah.
It's X and 2 blue. If X is 10 or more, you what's it called? You grab your library, you draw that many cards, you untap 5 lands. So I feel like it does a lot more. But for decks that have pretty heavy mana reduction, like Kaza or what's it called? The experience, is it Commander?
Oh yeah,
and all this stuff. I don't see why not slotting both of them in there. If you could afford the space. But if it was up to me, I'd pick the Revelation over this. But the fact that this lets you cast a spell for free is pretty important too.
Yes.
Right? Depending on how much you can pump into X. If you're only pumping like 3 into X, then then you're really down bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what about you? Like, I mean, you have Kaza, you have a mana reduction
this will
commander.
probably go into Kaza just because, like, all the because my Kaza list is just extra turns and like copying spells, so it'll probably go in there, fit right well in there. Just like, all right, well, let's look at top, like, let's say 8 cards, extra turn spell there. We're gonna play it, and then there's like another one in hand, like a copy spell. Like, yeah. We're
I think the fact that it puts all the instants and sorceries into your hand and all the permanents into the bottom kind of like weeds you out, especially for a spellslinger decks. I think this is a pretty important effect too.
Yeah,
because it gives you more answers. It gives you possibly protection and card draw.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Let's get to the next card.
All right. The next card is Rousing Refrain.
Yeah.
Right? All right, 2 red and 3 colorless sorcery. Add red for each card in target opponent's hand until the end of turn. You don't lose that mana as steps and phases end. Exile Rousing Refrain with 3 time counted on it and has to spend for 3 for 1 red and 1 colorless. Wow, this is just like a reoccurring just mana thing, but definitely gets worse during the late game for sure. But early game, it's definitely great.
Yeah, I mean, definitely this is doing what I would say a poor imitation of Jessica's Will.
Yeah, definitely.
But then again, like, people still play cards like Mana Geyser, which is 5, and I mean, but that one's gonna give you a little bit more because it's on tap lands.
That card is amazing late game. Like,
yeah,
that's like 20 mana or something.
Like, yeah, exactly.
A lot.
But for this one, you know, people might start emptying out their hands as they see the time counters start to reduce. Or anything like that, but that's why you have to put another threat on board. I'm gonna put a Nevern Rawls disc out, so to make sure you guys don't play any cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is gonna be a nice budget alternative to the Jessica's Will, because Jessica's Will is like I said to everybody, it's gonna go up because it's insane.
Oh man, that card will probably be a $30 card probably like in 6 more months. Like,
I mean, on MTGO it's already almost $30.
Oh man, yeah, it's like, if you haven't got one yet, guys, definitely pick one up before they spike. That's like that's a top tier red card right there.
I know. I remember I picked it up on MTGO like really early when Commander Legends came out. I was like, oh my god, it's only like $2. Yeah, most definitely get it. And then I checked it to like a week ago. It's like $27.
Wow. All right, that's a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, like anything that's not green needs whatever type of mana accelerant they can get, right? All right, and then for the next card we have Reinterpret, which is going to be 2 and is it instant counter target spell. You may cast a spell with an equal or lesser value from your hand without paying its mana cost.
Definitely a good counter spell for sure. You're countering something and you get something for free.
Right,
down my alleyway, you know.
I mean, it almost feels like an expertise line.
Yeah, it is.
The fact that it's equal or lesser to makes it a little bit better. It's a little bit better than Cascade because Cascade is more randomized. This one you could like, all right, cool, I'll do this, and then I mean maybe you're playing Teamer, then you're like, all right, I'll Sky Shroud Claim.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't be like, if it's your opponent's turn, you can't be like, all right, put this sorcery, cast a sorcery in play, right?
Well, like Is it not gonna work like electro dominance?
I don't know. That's
something we have to see in the rules section for this
yeah,
card.
that's gonna be definitely a rule card for sure because like that card kind of like because it doesn't specify like if you can cast sorceries. It's just like you can cast a spell like a creature like artifacts. Like can you just put one into play? Like it's definitely gonna be a rules card right there.
Well, because in the way that I see it, right, it's not like I understand the timing restriction is important, but just like with Cascade, you know, with a forceful denial or natural like recollection or whatever, the Cascade cards from Commander Legends, the cast is the cast when you cascade on another person's turn, the timing isn't restricted to to the spell. It's an ability that's happening. So that's what I see. This is how I see that card.
Maybe it's just an ability with the card. So yeah, maybe that works. But we'll definitely see it in the rules for
but like that's how I'm seeing it. But hey, you know when you can. This is a 2-for-1 card.
Yes, it is.
So I mean, yeah, it's at 4 mana, but then people are still playing that 4 mana counterspell that has you can copy or you can redirect.
Yeah. I think it was
like something will.
It wasn't Brawl something. It was like Will something. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I could definitely see this getting more play. Do you?
Yeah, I'd probably go into Kaza for sure. If the
for 2 mana.
Yeah. For 2 mana, put in an extra turn in, like, tight.
Well, okay. You have to get what's it called? The 3 mana extra turn card.
Oh, yeah.
Flip,
I want that so bad. They're, like, actually 2 3 mana extra turn cards, but, yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah, I don't know if you want Final Fortune, because if you don't win the next turn, you're just out of the game.
Oh, no, it's not Final Fortune. The one from Satamore.
Which
you
one?
take an extra turn, but you don't untap your lands.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that one.
Yeah, I'm not playing that card. I need to untap my lands, unless I'm in Teamer.
All right, moving on to the next one.
To the last one.
Yeah. Surge to Victory. 2 red, 4 color sorcery. Exile target into a sorcery card from your graveyard. Creature you control get X plus X plus 0. Till the end turn where X is the card mana value. Whenever a creature you control deal combat damage to a player, this turn copy that exile card. You may cast a copy without paying for a mana cost. Wow, that is gross.
Yeah, I mean, like I understand you're excited for your wizard deck, but it's also you have to have creatures that have evasion naturally.
Yeah,
because I mean, like if you're playing a lot of smaller creatures, like I'm gonna block the stuffing out of those things.
Yeah, I mean, I do have some flying wizards, but like my wizard deck is like kind of like under radar sometimes. Like I just have a bunch of wizards out. Like
not anymore. Not anymore.
Okay. But yeah, this card seems really gross and like let's say
it's definitely
Zada,
busted. Yeah,
Zada seems really good.
Oh my god.
Oh man, just. Yeah, like any type of like aggro deck too, like even in green, like all right, well that's overwhelming stampede or like something that deals damage because like that had to deal combat damage. It's not like on the attack. Like whenever you swing with this creature, you get that spell.
Yeah,
it had to deal combat damage, so it definitely changes what type of spells you want.
Yeah, I mean,
like you could like definitely just ramp out like more like get like, target like a Kadama's Reach or like a Skychild Claim. Like cool, I'm gonna just get all my land from my deck now.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're playing Sylvala Stampede, exile Sylvala Stampede. I'm gonna swing with all my trample creatures. All right, I'm gonna name deck. I don't care what you guys name, because I have about 8. I have about 8 copies of it, and I have 10 cards in hand. So pick your poison.
Or even like that one 8 mythic or 10 cost green spell from Avacyn Restored, where you keep on revealing.
Primal Surge.
Primal Surge. You just keep on Primal Surge and you resolve the first one.
Yeah.
Man. This card is wow.
This is definitely gonna be a fun. Like it is a cheeky card because it is at 6.
Yeah.
You know. But I'm pretty sure like. Maybe you only really need it to trigger once or twice, you know?
Yeah, to like really pull in that game. Like it's a basically overrun for whatever you target, you know?
Yeah, and then plus, you know, sometimes, I mean, how many times have we said to ourselves, like, oh man, if only I had one more turn. So like, yeah, with Kaza, you just swing it with Kaza, get an extra turn, and then you could win that next turn. Or you're like, maybe if I had one more combat step. So I mean, this is a nice finisher on the right board state.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, and I think that's everything for the EDH spoilers for today. We'll definitely get some more tomorrow. And like, subscribe, and comment what you guys think of what the best card out of the Prismari EDH deck. And I'm Quest.
I'm Barry.
We are the Scry Guys.